Greetings! I'm here in the Forbidden Paw Paw Grove, and it took quite a treacherous hike to get here. I'm covered in every little small sticky burr known to man, as is my dog, for the elusive paw paw. Elusive for some, elusive for me. I know of this location alone. That's the only success I've had with fruiting paw paw, and as I arrived here, I'm greeted with one lone perfect paw paw. So still worth the hike. Not my proudest haul, but worth it nonetheless. And the goal today is to turn this into something. It is currently edible, but the goal today is to turn this into something a little more widely palatable. I love pawpaws. I think they're the most tropical fruit that you can get in Kansas. Maybe peaches, but especially because I have such a limited supply right now, I would like to stretch this into something that I can enjoy more than one sitting. I wish I had one more to demonstrate. Well, here is one more I can demonstrate with. This one's been previously enjoyed by insects and animals, but as you can see, these large seeds, green rind, they're better picked from the ground than they are from the tree. And generally you can find a patch by smelling the rotting fruit laying around. But in this case, I think because it's in high demand with all the local fauna, I'm stuck with my one. I'll look around a little bit more, but probably got to get the dog out of here. So, delicious, edible, mostly available. It's a late summer, early fall crop. I've found them fairly late into October in the past. Maybe I don't see any flowers anymore, and I don't see any little bits of fruiting hanging on these trees, so maybe the end of the season at this location. But I'm so satisfied with my single paw paw. I'd probably take it home and demo it because I want to preserve the seeds. But, so this is in a wetlands, but wooded areas, partially shady. This doesn't get a lot of sun, so I'm surprised it fruits at all, but these are really established trees. I've been coming here for, well, I skipped a few years, but in the past, years ago, this was laden with pawpaws. And maybe someone else figured it out besides the deer. But it's like a custardy, banana-y, mango-y. They're called hillbilly mangoes. Last year, the only pawpaw I got was at a DIY house show, and the biggest pawpaw tree I've ever seen was on the property. So I asked the owner if I could take one to show my friends, and they said help yourself, which is so sweet. I wish I could have brought home a lot more. My friends were vaguely interested, and then the owner of the home went and told me that this is poor people food. This is something in the old days they used to eat because there was nothing else available. And I feel sad for that person who has this amazing resource in their yard and they completely have written it off as peasant food. Here's to peasant food. Here's to the amazing, nourishing resources available for no cost to any income bracket. I'm not starving, but I'm grateful to have this. So today we celebrate the paw paw, and we celebrate poor people, and we celebrate foraging, and we celebrate being head to toe laden in those little sticky burrs. So we'll finish up this foraging session, take this home, and try to turn it into something that I can share. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you in a minute.
through the roses.
Welcome back. It's the next day. The dog detangling adventure took all of my energy. If you're curious, it was 2 baths, 4 brush sessions, and mostly all of the burrs are removed from her fur. With my downtime, I was looking into potential recipes for my paw paws in order to stretch them a little further, and obviously I supplemented the single paw paw that I harvested by going to the store and purchasing, probably from that same location, someone else had foraged for me. Cheers to you, lucky forager. So in my research, absolute blessing, I discovered that cooking paw paws has some reaction with some chemical compound in the fruit that makes some people violently ill. And I think my #1 goal for foraging is not to get violently ill or the people I love. So we're going with a no-bake recipe, just in case. I don't need to find out if Paw Paw makes me violently ill, especially not today. So no bake, peasant pudding. I think this is a great recipe because it's very modifiable to whatever amount of Paw Paw or other ingredients that you have on hand. And it is dairy-free if you like. It is no bake, perfect for the end of summer when it's still kind of hot. And hopefully really highlights the delicious custardy, creamy qualities of Paw Paw. So moving forward with the recipe, this isn't going to be an exact science. It's mostly ratios, and it's definitely going to be a little feel our way through process rather than a scientific method. So first up, our Paw Paws. And these are mostly the store-bought ones. I have my foraged Paw Paw as well, which got pretty beat up in transport, but will still be delicious. This one's not quite ripe maybe, so I maybe don't use all of them. Got ingredients here, milk of choice, and odds and ends to suit whatever system you want to employ to construct your peasant pudding. So I've got chia, flaxseed. I prefer using both. Plain chia makes a great pudding, but I figure since we can make this healthier, I'm going to incorporate the flax as well. Some salt, vanilla or almond extract. I'm going to use both. I really like using both. So we've got a vessel and a strainer. Not sure how necessary the strainer is going to be. I think if you're willing to get a little nasty with it, you don't need this, but for the sake of demonstration, I'll use it. And some flaked salt. This goes together really fast. It takes a while to set up. So give yourself a day in advance or ideally overnight before you're going to be eating this. But first step will be to undress our paw paws. So we're going to skin and debone these beauties. You got to be careful of the seeds, but if you're familiar with cutting a mango, it'll be pretty similar to that. The skin is just peeling right off. So some people are violently ill with the skin as well, so make sure you are protecting yourself from that potential, unless you already know whether you can or not. It's delicious. I had to clean my fingers, so yeah, I don't think I need the strainer, but your results may vary. It smells so good. It's so tropical. So I'm just gonna scoop out from the skin as much of the fruit as I can get, trying to leave as much of the skin intact in case I don't have a great reaction to it. I wish I could have just eaten one of these in the field yesterday, but plenty of pawpaws now. The grocery store had quite a few too. I was wondering if they just wiped out everything in the area. So I'm probably not gonna go foraging for pawpaws anymore this year. And for $5 a pound, to not have to brush my dog for 2 hours. In hindsight, should have done that. But that's not the peasant way. So because this is so creamy, custardy, and it's a milk-based pudding, I want to leave some little chunks, but mostly I'm going to use fruit matter to infuse the milk with the flavor. I don't really need it to be a thickener since the flax and chia will serve that purpose. It has some bite. Oh, it's a little bitter. That's kind of the stem bit. Little chew. Really meaty. Super creamy. I can see why people would hate it, but it's delicious. These got totally banged up while I was shooting my gratuitous B-roll. Maybe that's better for pudding. I was torn between a no-bake cheesecake. Saw a couple recipes floating around for that. I don't really want that much of something, so this is great for a small amount. And maybe I'll freeze whatever of the fruit. I'm scared to have that. I read fermenting or cooking or dehydrating had the adverse gastrointestinal results for people, so anything but raw state is what I'm going to avoid. So I've got a great supply of this fleshy pulp. And I'm going to leave a lot of it chunky because I think this will have no problem infusing. So moving forward, I would skip the strainer. Didn't need it. Got Paw Paw on my glasses. So now I'm going to add all my fixins. Fixins. And so I'm just going to use a little touch of the vanilla, almond, and salt. This is kosher salt. Just a little dab. I'm not going to add too much. I really want to highlight the flavor of the Paw Paw without overpowering it. And almond especially, I think, would get out of hand. So just a little dab of that. For my pudding ratio, typically it's one part chia to 4 parts milk. And I do have about a 1/4 cup of chia here. And usually I kind of mince this up or pulse it a little, but since I'm using the flax, I probably won't have to quite so much, but I'm going to do a little bit. Just to get the health benefits of the chia, because when you're Making chia pudding like this is generally just passing through your system. So if you want to actually digest some of it, giving it a little bit of a break with either a spice grinder or like this, mortar pestle, just to bust it up a little, is advisable. So I'll do a split, a little of both. The flax is gonna add its own little fibrous-y gooiness, but you can leave the flax out if you like. And you can skip this step if you want. For a 1/4 cup of the chia, 1 cup of milk, I'm gonna add the milk in right now. I just wanna stir it all up to get that milk really infused with the pawpaw and the flavors that I added, and I'll mash it up a little bit. I'm glad I skipped the banana bread route. It sounds really good. It sounds like something that I would be all about, if not for the gamble with my health or the health of anyone I would want to share this with. And even now, it instills a little bit of fear that I did not have before for this awesome fruit, which is funny. Gotta respect it. Oh, it's so good. This is gonna be really good, I hope. You know, if it does make me horribly ill. At least it'll taste good. So I'm gonna add in all of my chia. That's the pre-ground stuff. The whole chia seeds. And I'm just gonna eyeball the flax because this is just for health anyway. That was probably 3 or 4 tablespoons. And give it a mix. Now I'm just going to transfer it into a cute jar and let it sit in the fridge either today or tonight. And I might check on it periodically to see if it needs any extra liquid added to it. Because with the extra flax plus the liquid from the fruit, I'm not sure exactly if that 1:4 ratio is going to be exactly what I need. So this is an experiment. Well, that worked out. So there it is. Paw Paw Peasant pudding. I'm gonna let this sit and then we'll come back and try it out and I'll give you my honest, unbiased opinion. We'll decide if it's actually worth all the effort or if I should have just eaten it in the field. See you back in a few. I think it's done. Or it's done enough for me to taste it. It sat all day. It's definitely gloopy. Good chunks of fruit. She wants some. I don't know if dogs can have pawpaw. We'll have to investigate further. This is quite a bit. Probably not 1 serving. Might want to get a few out of here. I realized I didn't add any sugar to this, and I hopefully don't need to. I think the salt and the vanilla, and I use soy milk, which has some sugar already, so. It's definitely not sweet, but it's not sweet. A little slimy. For the taste right now, I like having it plain, but I think good chunks. I think I would throw a little granola or walnuts or pistachios on top just for some crunch. It does have good body though. Wait for that. I'm gonna get a sunburn. Bad timing with the mower. So I would recommend this if you have pawpaws, if you're sick of eating plain pawpaws, if you want to squeeze a little extra fiber into your diet, try the Paw Paw Peasant Pudding. I think it's a success. It's affordable, it was easy, it goes a long way, and it's a good meal prep. So definitely look into this option if you are either afraid to find out or already know that you can't eat any cooked Paw Paw product. I think this is probably the friendliest, easiest method for preparing it without having to actually heat it. So successful mission. If you're the type that thinks that eating food that you found outside is beneath you, or for lesser types, then perhaps you could use this recipe and add a little gold flake or foie gras or some element of class to set you apart from the common folk. But for common folk like me, delicious. I'm proud that I could go harvest this. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you've seen my videos before, yes, this is just released out today in order to alert you that I am still alive and well and essentially trying to garden, but a little break from content creation just because of the real life factors. Primary job comes before fun things, but I'm trying to squeeze back more fun things into my schedule. So this has been a good motivation for me. I'm grateful to you for watching it, and I hope you can catch new ones if I get them out. And until next time, and I swear there will be a next time, enjoy your season, whatever season it is, and enjoy what's in harvest, wherever you are. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.